Hey there, welcome to Authentically Raw. I'm your host, Jamie Berris. Well, hello and welcome to Authentically Raw. Today's guest is Cindy D. Whitmer. She is I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself because I know you're a midlife makeover coach, but you're so much more. So you go ahead and tell us everything good about you.
Oh, well, thank you, Jamie, so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. I truly am. So thank you so much. Yeah, my name's Cindy D. Whitmer, and I'm the midlife makeover coach. And I teach women how to love themselves unapologetically and build unwavering confidence so they can really live fully, personally and professionally, whatever that looks like to them. And I've been doing this work in one form or another for over 30 years. So I was a therapist first for 25 years, a licensed therapist. And so I bring kind of a therapeutic tone to my work with people. But then 17, 18 years ago, I heard about the field of coaching and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm just so enamored with that as well. So I got certified in that. So I kind of married those two skill sets together. And have been working on my own for the last 6 years, not working for other people at all, and just have my own business as the midlife makeover coach. And so I have private and group coaching programs, and I authored the book, The Midlife Makeover Method, last year. It became a bestseller, so I'm really excited about that. And so I go through this makeover method that really it started from me going through my own midlife crisis or, season of transformation, and ended up, building my own confidence and needing to do my own work, and then turning it into working with other people as well, going through similar things. So that's my main thing. And I live in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest girl, and I'm in a relationship that's very important to me. I'm engaged to be married and have a blended family of 10 young adult kids and partners, grandchildren in our lives between us. And I'm a kitty mama, and I don't know. What else do you want to know? I don't know.
It's all amazing. I guess I'm curious, I hear so much of, transformation type things when you speak. Was there a big turning point when you went therapist to life coach? Because, correct me if you have like a different, I don't know if you want to call it description, but I always think the difference of therapy is more, digging in the past. There's more healing involved. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to coaching, it's here's where I am, here's where I'm stuck, here's where I know I want to change, but I don't know how, or, I have blocks or things like that. So do you feel like you have kind of married them together, or are you more coach now? Do you still do therapy? Where are you on all that?
Yeah, I think you said it really well. Just in generally speaking, I view therapy as a past to present focus. Like something's happened, a trauma, a grief, something difficult's happened in a person's life, and they want to heal from it. They want to, restore a relationship or something. So it's past to present focused. It's more feelings focused. And then coaching to me is more present to future focused. It's more, here I am, just like you said. And this is where I want to be over here. How do I get from A to B? And so it tends to be a more action-oriented process, learning how to create new habits, drop old ones, take steps to really create the life or business or whatever that you want. And so putting them together, I am a coach. That's what I call myself. And I bring in therapeutic skills when needed, because when people are working on creating the lives they want, yes, those blocks show up, those fears come up. So we need to do some healing sometimes. Need to sort out where they've been a little bit, so I understand what they've done up to this point that's worked well, what hasn't worked well, so we can set them up well to move forward. So
amazing. So my question would be, has there been any areas in your life that, say, you struggled with, or you felt stuck, or any patterns or habits?
Yes.
I'll start there. I'll stop there, I should say. Don't ask too many questions at
How
once.
much time do you have?
Well, we might be doing
myself.
We could do several episodes, right? Cover
Right.
all the.
This could be a series if we're going to talk about Cindy's stuckness.
Right.
Chapter 1.
You don't stay there.
Chapter 12, chapter 20.
Right.
No, I would say, honestly, and what I find with so many women in midlife is exactly what I did. So I grew up and I had a dream life. Go, graduate high school, go to college, find the man, get married, have the children, have the white picket fence, and live happily ever after. Contribute to your 401k, retire, and right?
Mhm.
And so I bought into that and fell in love in college, and married my college sweetheart. The whole thing. We had the whole thing. We had the white picket fence, the perfect children, the perfect little life, right? And what I found myself doing, which I think a lot of women do, I'm going to say women tend to do it. I know some men do too, but women, is I spent the first 20 years in that scenario doing for them. What's the husband need? What do the kids need? What do the kids need? What does the husband need? What does the husband want? What do the kids want? Just people pleasing. What do the in-laws want? What does the church want? What does the school need? What does the organization want? And working over here also. And, volunteering everywhere. I drained myself, ran myself ragged, trying to be everything to all people. And I feel proud of that, or I don't know if proud's the right word, but I do feel good about it because it came from love, just oozing love and wanting to authentically be involved in all the many aspects of all of our lives. But what was missing was I forgot about myself. I forgot, what does Cindy want? What does Cindy need? Who is Cindy besides wife, mother, volunteer, coach, counselor, minister, club volleyball coach, Girl Scout leader, homeroom school mom, all these roles I was playing. And so I woke up in my 40s and went, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted. And my husband was not, our emotional life together was very difficult. We had a lot of similar values and ran the business of life quite well together, but our private relationship was not healthy. And I didn't know what to do because I loved him, but I felt like I was sleeping with my enemy almost. He wasn't beating me up or anything like the movie Sleeping with the Enemy, but it was just this, it was his life, his way, or the highway. And, he was very quick to judge me and criticize me. And I felt like I was just, desperately trying to create joy between us, please him, and not lose myself in the process. And I noticed, how, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I sort of got to the point where I could step outside myself enough and kind of observe myself. And I saw myself spiraling down. I just saw, I'm just going down. I'm going down slowly. It was kind of like my version of a cancer, like a long, slow death. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly. Yeah.
And I had to wake up. And I woke up a lot when I took some training from Jack Canfield, who is the founder of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, but he's so much more, and he teaches the success principles now. He trains coaches and trainers and things. So I decided to dive deep into training with him about 12 years ago. And I was in a room with him in a little mastermind group with him, literally sitting next to him one day. And we were going around our little circle saying, this was in 2010, and saying, what we wanted in our lives and what was keeping us from having what we wanted in our lives. So I gave my spiel of all my dreams. And then I said, but my husband this, and my husband that, and my husband this, and my husband that. And Jack Canfield turned to me. Okay, Jack Canfield looked me straight in the eyes. And he said, Cindy, it is your job to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
And just our eyes locked. And I thought, I mean, my whole body just, I had the chills. I had the, the hair stand up on the back of my head, whatever, clouds split open, whatever you want to say. And it was like, oh my gosh, it is my job to live my life. Why am I living everyone else's life besides my own? And that was the beginning of a long transformation and getting unstuck and dropping the fears and building the confidence. That really, like, if I had a moment, that was it. Thank you, Jack.
Right?
Thank you many times I've thanked him.
Yeah. And I relate so much to that. And I'm sure so many listeners do, the people pleasing. And I can remember even saying in my house, looking at my family, I'm everything to everybody every second of the day. And them looking at me like, well, stop. But I couldn't. And I know it got to the point though, where I think people really believe that you just love doing it. And don't get me wrong, so much of those, because same thing, I relate so much. It's like, you're the mom, you're the wife, you're trying to work, you're volunteering 12 other places, every sign up genius, every email that came through, ding, ding, ding. I felt like I was a horrible person if I didn't sign up. Yeah. And, you're constantly doing, you're worn out, completely drained, dragging yourself to bed and out of bed every day. And what I found too is I started to become resentful. And I didn't like that. Yeah. But that awareness that you talk about, it's stepping back and looking at your life and really realizing I did this to myself. I don't have to say yes to everything. Right. I can say no. I can have boundaries, and I'm not a horrible, mean person or unlovable. Exactly. I don't. And I don't know about you, but I dove, head in first with the people pleasing things. And I love to coach people on people pleasing. And one of the big things that has really resonated with me, and I'd love to get your take on it, is I didn't realize how codependent people pleasers are. If you would have told me a few years ago, well, that's codependency, being a people pleaser, I would have said, are you kidding me? Everybody depends on me. I do everything and, blah, blah, blah. And I just figured, codependents were the people that they're the takers, not the givers. They can't do anything, all this. And then when I really, same thing, went to therapy, got some courses, things like that, I realized, oh, I'm codependent on other people to fill this void in me. And that is the void of my self-worth. I was getting my self-worth through other people. I was getting my value through other people. I felt like I mattered when I constantly did it for people. Where, do you find yourself in any of that, or what was those were kind of the big things that stuck out in me. What about you? Yeah, I relate to that. And I think part of what happened for me and in our generation, and even more so, I think in our mother's generation and their mother's generation, is there was what we might call female classic training, where, women serve. That's what we do. Women serve. Like, I watched my mother and my aunts and my grandmas and take care of everyone. Take care of everyone, take care of everyone, take care of everyone. And they were not only just, making the giant holiday meals while all the men sat and watched football, right? And waited to be served without complaint. This is what they did. Then they cleaned it all up while the men went back to watching or throwing the horseshoes or smoking the cigars or whatever they did, right? Without complaint, because that's just what women do. And then they serve at the church, and they serve at the school, and they serve at the organization, and they work outside of it, or they work the farmland along with the, or whatever, right? And raise the children. So I witnessed that. And that has to translate somewhere in there, right? Oh, I'm a girl. Oh, I'm a woman. Okay, I'm supposed to serve. And my importance lies in that service,
And there's the codependence, right? I'm okay as long as I'm serving. I matter because I'm serving, I'm giving, I'm working my fingers to the bone, I'm wearing myself out, I'm exhausted every night, therefore I'm doing a good job. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I bought into that. That's just a story. And it doesn't have to be true at all, but it is a story that I let get implanted, and I bought it. I believed it and I lived it. And then I realized I'm going to die doing it,
Right.
emotionally die doing it, if I don't change the scenario and change the beliefs around that. And so now I realize, yes, I love to serve. I still love to serve, but I serve with greater balance.
Yeah.
And one of my checkpoints is I believe in absolute yeses and enlightened no's.
Mm-hmm.
So the absolute yeses are, we say yes to whatever it is, whatever choice, opportunity, decision it is, when we feel bubbled up, like excited about it, right? You're like, oh yes, I want to be a part of that organization. Oh yes, I want to do that in my business. Oh yes, I'd love to play that role in my family. Oh yes, I'd love to support that friend in this. But if it's something that comes up, we're asked to do or invited to do, or comes along in front of our eyes, and we go, uh-oh, they asked me. Oh, yeesh, I don't really believe in that anymore. I don't really have time for that, or I've been there, done that, or, oh, I'm not comfortable with that. But what if I don't want them to be mad? I don't, blah, 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 blah. It's an honest thing to say no.
Mm-hmm.
It's an enlightened no. And it means we're healthier. It means we're living in integrity, which enhances our relationships. The people that you can look in their eyes and say, thank you so much for thinking of me, but no, that's not going to work for me right now. We're giving them a gift because they're going to go find that absolute yes person for whatever they're wanting. The absolute yes person is out there somewhere. And if we take it up because we feel bad, because we're supposed to serve and people please and be codependent, everybody loses.
Mm-hmm.
Really. And
especially ourselves. Well, and I have to think just that word resent pops back up for me too, because when we don't say no, when we constantly say yes, because like you said, I love to serve, I love to help, I love to empower other people. But when you're not giving any of that to yourself and you're constantly giving it away, you become bitter, resentful, angry, just frustrated because you're overwhelmed and just plain old wore out. And you often, and I think I look back too, and it's the people that you love and care about the most, you become resentful towards, because that's who you're doing everything for. I can even remember when my fourth was born, I remember thinking, good, now I can play the 4 kids card. And in my mind, that was, I don't have to say yes to everything everybody asks me to do. They'll get it because I have 4 kids. In my mind, I was still having to make excuses why I couldn't, do everything all the time. Like, I would not give myself permission to say please myself once in a while and just say, I'm not available, or no, I can't stay up until midnight to make this, whether it was a craft or, something to drop off at the school or help out with this. Because I'm going to be up at 2 a.m., 4 a.m. nursing, and then up again at 6 a.m. getting the other 3 off to school. It's like, I really felt like I needed an excuse. And you say all these things about how, like we grow up and that's ingrained in us, but, and I 100% agree with that. It took 20 years for me to realize that really was in me. That was my way of thinking. And, when I opened my eyes, where did it come from? Oh, it comes from the home. It comes from, so many places in our environment and society. Just, the soap operas or whatever it was that you were exposed to growing up and even still today. But most people they're not aware of it. And it's really hard to change if you're not aware.
It is. And what we tend to do when we're not aware is we just blame the system. We blame the environment. We blame other people. We blame because we don't get how we're we're a part of that dynamic. And so I always, yes, my first step when working with people is you've got to wake up. Like we've got to wake up. Like I had to wake up. I had to wake up, take charge of my life in a different way, change my line of thinking, change how I approached each day. You know, you talked about the kids and, you know, breastfeeding half the night and then getting kids off to school all for the day and just, oh my gosh, and saying yes to everybody and the whole bit. Well, I remember very distinctly with my teenagers in the car when I was driving, we'd get in the car to go somewhere and they would change my radio station. Like I'd have the radio station on the music I like to listen to and they'd change it and I would let them do it. And then we were listening to whatever they like to listen to on our road trips or whatever. And finally one day I changed it back. And I said, I mean, this is just a dumb little thing, but just think about this for a second. So I changed it back and I turned to them and I said, I am a person and I have music I prefer to listen to when I'm in my car. And this is the station I'm going to listen to. Yeah. And that it's just a teensy little yes, right? That I said to myself, but it changed the dynamics between myself and my kids too, because they're like, oh, mom is a person. Oh my gosh, mom is a person. And she's going to take care of herself too, not just us. Like, and so I've thought too, even part of why I got divorced, did all kinds of things when I realized what I was doing was I thought, what am I teaching my children who are witnessing me live this way? Mm-hmm. Well, I want my daughter, for example, to grow up and run herself ragged. Mm-hmm. And then we'll label that a good life, good girl, good life. Or do I want her to see a woman who is confident, who has balance in her life, who loves to give and serve and loves to receive and loves to have fun and loves to work hard and loves to play hard and, you know, and who insists on healthy relationships in her life with men, friends, family, or they're out, you know, that kind of thing. And so it's so important to not just for ourselves even, to get our lives in order in a way that feels really good and healthy to us, but the ripple effect of that is amazing. So I think I just went off on a tangent, Jamie, and I'm really sorry.
No, not at all, because I was going to ask, I like to find what empowered you to, get unstuck, say, from that people pleasing and really change. Yeah. And I think, no, we've actually talked a lot about it. It's number one, being aware of, okay, this isn't working for me. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm, whatever it is that you're feeling, this isn't working in my life, and really taking responsibility for it. Like you said, Canfield said, and I found myself getting angry at people like, how dare you ask me to do something? As if someone is a bad person for asking.
Right.
No.
Right.
They are fine for asking. It's my responsibility to give an honest answer. And on the flip side of that, I couldn't ask for help for the life of me. I admit I still struggle there. I do get stuck there a lot. I don't stay stuck there, but I do struggle with it. And I can take that awareness though, and put that as, just because I ask, it doesn't mean, somebody has to feel obligated to say yes, like I used to. And I don't, and I think probably one of the hardest things for me, maybe you relate to this, is there's always going to be people disappointed or maybe even upset with you when you stop people pleasing. And it's been hard, because I have trained people in my ways of, even just with 4 kids or the family of 6, if it's something simple of let's hop in the car and go grab something to eat. Oh my gosh, my stomach would be in knots. This kid wants this place. This kid wants that place. I mean, those are really good problems to have. You can hop in the car and where are we going to go? I would find myself, I don't know, like those simple things, but even to big things. If you're invited someplace, how do you turn down when you just don't want to, or you already had plans, or I can remember having, entertaining people and feeling like I was mean if you invite this person, you got to invite this person and this person. Pretty soon you have 50 people at your house.
Right.
And I would look at other people and I would think, well, they only invite like these two couples over or these two families, and
Right.
they didn't feel the need to do that. Like,
Yeah.
how do they get away with that? I want some of that. So those were kind of the things, those awareness of, wait, I don't think this person's bad or mean or rude when they say no. I'm always like, okay, and I would honor and really respect the honesty of people of, I can't, with no excuses, because I always found myself going down that rabbit hole of, I got to make an excuse, or not necessarily an excuse, but I have to tell them why.
Yes. Justify my reason. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it holds us back relationally, but even, I mean, professionally, in so many areas. Yeah. What's kind of your take on that? Just to empower people. Like, if you feel like you're stuck in this, what are some words to change that thinking? Because it is a mindset.
It's all about mindset, in my opinion. And, because you really reflected some beliefs there that are helpful for listeners who are struggling with this, right? So if we don't invite everybody, we're bad people, we're bad friends, we're bad hostesses, we're bad whoever, right? If we don't invite everyone. Or if every kid doesn't get to go to the restaurant they want to go to this time, they're going to be devastated. They're going to be upset. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be, and then am I a bad mother because I didn't, choose what everybody would like, or blah, 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 blah. So those are all beliefs up in our head. So if someone's asking you to join the organization or volunteer over here and you feel angry at them or resentful, that's a reflection of, how am I not treating myself properly? That this absolutely puts me over the edge. It's that you're not treating yourself properly, right? When we're people pleasing, we're not treating ourselves properly. So we want to check the belief system behind it. If I say no to this person, they're going to hate me. If I don't do this, people are going to think I don't care anymore. If I, and then we want to look at those beliefs and go, wait, is that true? Are they actually going to think I hate them? Or I don't care? And if they do think that, why am I worried about these people? Because I'm a loving soul. I've shown up every time. If they really know me, they know I care deeply and I'm human and I need balance. So thinking of always when we're suffering, always check the thoughts behind the suffering. Check the thoughts and question them. Is this actually true? Is it really true that I'm irresponsible because I can't balance 4 kids, a business, a husband, a big house, all our traveling, all our extended family, all the organizations, all the school, like what? No. Okay. So question the beliefs and then rewrite the beliefs. Like a new belief could be, I can be a great friend and only invite a couple of friends at a time to my house. Or I can be a wonderful mother and tell my kids where we're going to go eat when we go out to eat. I can be a great volunteer and say no 4 out of 5 times. I mean, and then go, could that be true? Right. Could that belief be true? Well, let me live it out a little bit and get comfortable. The other thing is that we want to constantly, in my opinion, be building our confidence. So we are confident in who we are. So we know, I know who I am, what I value, what I stand for, what I need, what I don't need. And then every decision I make can fall into that authentic view of myself. And when I've changed how I act in relationships, change how I respond to organizations, whatever, one thing I've said to people is, I used to say yes to everything because I felt like I had to. And now I'm finding it's healthier for me and for everyone I involve myself with if I only say yes when I really feel strongly about something and believe I can balance it properly with the other yeses in my life. So right now, thank you so much for thinking of me. And I wish you all good things. Sounds like a wonderful thing. And I'm not going to be able to be a part of it right now.
Right.
So you can announce it if you feel you must, but now Byron Katie, the author of Loving What Is, says if you're justifying or explaining or defending, you're working too hard. So that's very interesting.
I have a hard time with the defending part. Like that one is a struggle for me, but I do call myself out on it, and it really helps because it's like I catch it in the moment. I'm going there. I need to defend this. I need to defend that. And
yeah, and you don't.
One thing that's actually helped me in my head, and I shouldn't care. Like I want to say, I hope it doesn't come out as rude, but just in my mind, that's your problem, not mine, or it's yours, not mine. And what I mean by that is it's a good reality check that's fast for me. If I do say no and someone is, and you can just hear it, like, okay, then something like that, or, they're disappointed. I have no control over that.
Right.
I really don't. And I know if I, like you said, if I know my truth and I know my motive inside is to, I am a caring person. I do love to help and serve and be there for other people. But, we only have so much energy. We only have so much time in the day. Right. And if I say no and someone is disappointed, there's really, truly nothing I can do about it.
Right.
And I think of the times that I did say no or it didn't work out, the energy that I would then spend after that beating myself up. Yeah. Okay, so I made that first step. I said no. I honored my own truth.
Yes.
But I am still sucking myself, dry.
Right. And you punish yourself for it.
Guilty. Yeah. Now I feel guilty. So I guess if you get to that point where, okay, I got these boundaries, I can say no, I'm honoring my truth. And then after the fact, you can't let that go, that guilt, because that still just is, in my mind, it still just is destructive. It really is, because you're still stuck. You're stuck emotionally then.
Right.
What do you think about that? Like, how do you get unstuck from that? Because I truly think most of these problems are the internal emotional.
Yes. So then you're aware, right? You go, okay, I finally said no when I meant no. Yay, that's a victory. Now I feel guilty. I should feel guilty because I told that person no. That's a belief. So again, you pluck that belief out of your head. I should feel guilty because I told that person no. And then you go, wait, is that true?
Yeah.
Do I feel guilty because I told a person no? I didn't throw a puppy out over a cliff. I just told a person no, right? Right?
Yeah.
So I question those beliefs again and then rewrite the belief and say, I can say no and feel at peace with myself. I can say no and feel confident I've made a wise decision for all concerned, because what's best for me is what's best for all. What's best for me is what's best for all. And you're right, Jamie. If somebody's uncomfortable with your response to anything, that's their work there. If they're like devastated or angry or whatever, that's theirs. And I say to people all the time, sort the laundry. What's your dirty laundry? What's your laundry to do? What's their laundry to do? If they're disappointed in you, that's their laundry. You can't go do their laundry. If you feel guilty, that's your laundry. So go clean up your laundry and stop worrying about other people's laundry, right? So sort the laundry between what you can control and what you can't control, and put all your focus on where you can control something. And that's within, that's just our work, not other people's. And again, as you build your confidence up, as we all keep building our confidence up in knowing who we are, what we value, what we stand for, and then we line everything up with that, the guilt drops as well. You won't have that experience anymore, because you'll know you are responding with integrity and you are giving them a gift, whether they want this gift or not. That's your no, because they're going to find somebody else who really does line up with what they need, who they will work better together with, because that person will be really there for the right reasons, not just because they think they have to be. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really best for everybody. And if people reject you because you tell them no, they aren't your people.
Right.
They aren't your people.
No.
If you and I are really good friends and you tell me no, I can roll with your no's.
Right.
As well as I can roll with your yeses and hold you in high regard at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the standard I'd like everybody to keep. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, because I feel that also goes back to the confidence issue. If I am secure and confident with myself, then people's no's to me, I understand and I'm good with. And when I say no, or whatever their response is, it goes even beyond people pleasing. It could be just anything in life. When we're secure with us, other people's stuff, their responsibility, their problems, their emotions, whatever it is, it doesn't feel like our burden.
Yes.
And that confidence is, it's
huge.
huge. I don't think people put the confidence narrative on it enough. But if you really step back and become aware of people you consider confident, the real confident ones, it's almost, I like to call it that quiet confidence.
Yes.
It's not the loud, boisterous, I'm this, I'm that. It's I'm just secure.
Yes.
And they model it at the way they live their life.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a quiet confidence. It's a humility behind it. There's a calm around people who have confidence in the way you're describing. And it's really a lovely place to get. It's really worth the work to get there. It's a game changer for sure. And I think too, behind all of that, where there's less confidence than we want, when we're people pleasing, it's hard to say no, the guilt, all that, there's a deep seated belief, I really think, in most people of I am not enough.
Yeah.
And so they just keep trying to be enough. So I'll say yes to everything, and then maybe I'll be enough. I'll do everything I can, so maybe then I'll be enough. I'll do that. And it's like being a squirrel or a hamster on a wheel, that you just keep going, running in circles and not really getting anywhere. And so it is important, I think, for most of us, when we've been in that situation where we find ourselves there, to step back and go, I am enough. Like I'm enough just because I'm here. Like I'm breathing, I'm living, I'm uniquely made just as me. And that's all I have to be. Like there's billions of people on the planet. Everything's going to get done, whether I do it or not. It's like, it's okay.
I love that. It just reminds me, because I've talked with other people about people pleasing, and I think a good reality check for me sometimes too is, Jamie, get off your high horse. Like, stop being so prideful. Like, humble yourself. You really think you are everything to everyone every second of the day? And I don't think that's, for me at least, that's not my inner critic. That is me critically thinking, like, okay, let's put this into perspective. Like you said, there's, like 8 billion people on this earth. Who are you? Humble yourself. Who are you to think that, like, the world's not going to keep spinning without you? Will people miss you? Yes. Will you? I mean, but stop saying, I have to be everything to everybody every second of the day, and take yourself down a notch. Sometimes that sort of talk, I'll start to laugh. It really does. You need there's, I guess, maybe that humble confidence part of it helps me unhook from a lot of that, maybe the codependency and the people pleasing.
Yeah, one way I've put perspective in my own life is I've said, when in my head, I've said, will the earth rotate off its axis if I don't show up today? And the answer is always no. Everything, the world or the earth will keep moving around the sun, and every life's going to keep going. I mean, even though we're all unique and wonderful and play our part, we're going to die someday and not be here at all in this way. And the world's going to keep evolving. The kids are going to keep growing, or the businesses are going to keep flowing, or, whatever. It's like, so I want to make an impact. That's part of why I do the work I do. That's part of why I'm on this podcast, is I want to make a difference for sure. I want to use whatever this Cindy package is to make a difference out there. But I know too that, the earth will not rotate off its axis if I don't show up. So.
Exactly. Well, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, I mean, there's just many different parts, but everybody plays a small part and we all work together. So to think that we are all of those parts and we can, juggle all of that is really, it just makes for crazy meek, really, truly, because it's impossible. And we weren't created for that. So why?
I don't know why this is coming to my mind. I hope it's helpful, but when I was a new mother, so I had a daughter first, and for the first 6 months, I did not leave that baby with anyone for 1 hour, not even for 1 hour, not once. And my friend at the time, Pam, said, Cindy, you and David go out to dinner. I will come. This was a mother of 3. She went to the same church we did. If you can't trust her, you might as well, call Mother Teresa and see if she's available, but forget it, right? So went and we went to dinner and I was sick. I couldn't even eat. I thought I would die. Got back in an hour. But she said, Cindy, you must teach your children that they are okay in the care of other people besides just you and their dad, because they need to learn to trust other people. Not all people, but they need to know that they would be okay if you're not there every second of their lives. And I thought, oh my gosh. And here I thought I was being the best mother of a newborn, never letting her out of my sight for 5 seconds, but isn't that a metaphor for all of life, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we do our part, of course, we're present, we're honest, we do what we can, but we also need to have perspective. Like, what do we really want? What do we really need? What do we really want? What do we really value? And get in that lane and stay there. And then just let it grow and build and express itself in all these wonderful ways and have a balanced life. It's really okay, That's love. That's love for self. And everyone else. That's love for everyone else as well as ourselves.
Well, and it teaches your kids from a young age to want community and connection with other people. And I feel I've always had a hard time, asking. It's like, where's my village? Well, you've never asked for one. You've never stepped out. And if your kids see you never doing that, chances are they'll isolate themselves too. Yep. But if they see you, supporting and helping other people and receiving support, then it builds community and relationships for them too. So Cindy, as we wrap up, I know you have a fabulous book. If you want to show us again, where can we find the Midlife Makeover Method? Where is it sold?
It is sold on Amazon, the Midlife Makeover Method, and there's more information about it too on my website, which is just my name, cindydwhitmer.com. So yeah, you can find everything right there. So thank you so much. What an honor to speak with you today. Thank you, and thank you for all the work you're doing. Amazing.
No, thank you for your wise words, and I there's no doubt in my mind that you've empowered many people, maybe men too, but especially us women that are people pleasers. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Take care.
Thank you so much for being here as we kick off this podcast together. I really appreciate you joining me on this journey because I'm well aware you could be doing or listening to anything right now. Hey, if you enjoy the Authentically Raw content, please support the show by following, rating, and reviewing on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You can also follow me on social media for daily inspiration. Head over to my website, jamieberris.com, to sign up for weekly transformation tips. Or if you're interested in coaching, I currently have 3 openings for one-on-one coaching. If you're looking for an empowering community, we'd love for you to join us in the Transformation Tribe, our group coaching membership. More info available on my website under the Life Coaching and Membership tabs. One last thing, I'm rooting for you. Be real, be raw, be authentic.